We're not doing ASMR.
How's it going, everybody?
We're not doing ASMR. It's a great day to play, everybody! Welcome on into the channel.
Yeah.
Whether this is your first time here or you are rejoining us, thank you so much for being here with us today. You are loved. You are appreciated. You are always welcome here in this channel, and you are enough. Now, today we're going to finally get to the video that I think we were supposed to do last time.
Yeah, the one that we thought we were doing.
Yeah, but to be fair, I'm not mad that we did the other one because we got to see the behind the scenes of that, which was also super, super cool.
Very cool.
So not upset that we did that at all. So now you guys get 3 videos about on Kinetic Manifesto, which is cool.
And the actual song.
And the actual song.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
That's a lot, guys.
That's so much.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so today we're going to be doing finally the commentary, and people said that this is going to get us more into like the actual, we were talking about, like we wanted to see the production aspect and the band aspect of it. We're going to get to see all of that today. So I'm super excited about it. If you haven't already, 2 things. 1, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell.
That's 3 things.
No, that's like all 1 combined.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You're already on YouTube. You do all those things.
Boom. That's 1 thing with A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Got it.
2, you can all welcome Lucas. I think people really thought, like, do you remember the video where I was like shunning you and I was like, everybody, if you can't tell Lucas to behave right now, he won't be able to be allowed on the channel.
Yeah.
People actually, I think, thought that I was serious.
Oh.
Well, because I think people skipped through and I made that like our intro.
Right.
I think people thought that like I was serious about that, and they're like, no, it's really okay. Like he'll behave, and I'm just like no, God, like it's a bit.
Right. And also
we don't actually hate each other. You know, we work with each other on like a daily basis.
2 things. 1, A, I never behave. 1, B,
Oh,
I'll never ever behave. 1, C, I'll burn the house down before I behave. And 2, I ain't going nowhere.
we ain't going nowhere. We got you for 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's
Bonesaw is ready.
Bonesaw. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of Spider-Man.
I actually like that Spider-Man series, believe it or not. I do.
It was good. The only part I didn't like was the part that everyone didn't like, where he was like doing the thing. I think it was Spider-Man 2 or 3.
Oh, when he becomes like weird.
Yeah, he's like, "Why do you fill me up?" or whatever it was that they were playing.
I remember. And for all of you out there who like spoilers, guys, it's been like almost 20 years at this point. I'm sorry. Get over it. Just go watch it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Spoiler alert. It's a 15-year-old movie.
Nobody cares about us talking about Spider-Man, so without further ado, let's do this.
I mean, it has to be boom, boom, ah. I mean, if you're playing a set, the 2 and the 4.
Because right now, they're kind of running away. Yeah.
So cool. Is it the hissing is coming from the video,
Yes,
right?
it's coming from the video. Yes.
I just wanted to make sure. I kept hearing the hissing. I turned mine down a little bit. I was like, no, I think that's actually in the video.
No, yeah.
That's
cool.
so cool.
Yeah, that's
Hitman
so cool.
Bang, executive producer Hitman Bang. Oh, let's sing this one.
I've been around to see the transition of music, where when we used to have live instruments and bands and stuff like that, and then when technology came, it kind of wiped everything away. I'm a big fan of technology, and I'm also a big fan of live music. And one of the things I think that BTS does that I'm really excited about is that they blend the 2 together. Just like music brings people together, BTS seems like they're in pop music. It seems like they're bringing that back. One should never replace the other. They should always be used to enhance and to bring together. And I think that BTS is leading in that field, and that's one of the things that made me really excited about working with them.
So I know of this guy. He's very respected, and but this isn't what I should even be talking about. I know, but it's bothering me so much.
Do it. Tell me.
He's wearing a leather coat that squeaks. And I cannot. Like, he's a very respected guy, and he knows these things, and he's just squeal, and it's like, dude, come on.
I think part of it though is like I don't know, because normally their videos you don't hear a lot of that feedback in the audio, so I don't know if maybe they had somebody else record this and it's like super.
Is this from
like
their?
This is on their website. This is on the Hybe website. Yeah. Okay. So on the Hybe channel, and it said executive role. So they might have had, because I'm guessing a lot of this was recorded in America. Maybe they just had like a pre-team or something go there. Or they outsourced it.
I guess, but I mean, it's a lot of hissing. I'm like wondering.
It might just be during this part too. So we'll see. But either way, so what they're talking about, and the more that you see BTS, the more you're going to discover. Again, they started as a hip hop group, and we're going to get into some hip hop. Like I said, I think the next one that I want to show you is Mic Drop. Make sure if you guys, comment, leave comments. But I think Mic Drop's the right one to do. I'm not going to get you into anything in terms of the BU yet. I don't think you're ready. But like, there's Mic Drop. There's this is on, but then there's NO or No, which is an amazing one from there early on. So like, we're going to get into some of their earlier hip hop stuff so you can see their transformation. But from the beginning, they found ways to take old styles and blend them in an entirely new way.
Right.
And that is actually one thing I think that we're seeing in music in general right now. We're seeing so much of that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak.
My God.
It's
Bruno Mars. And he'll do stuff 50s, 60s, 70s. 80s. Like, he takes different genres.
And he uses the original instruments from those.
Yes.
I mean, okay, so what people don't know is that when let's say you want an entire orchestra, or you want a certain synthesizer sound from the 70s, you have to go and buy that, or you have to go and rent those people's time. And it's a ton of money. Just like one synth that Bruno Mars has, that I'm guessing they probably have him laying around too, is probably $4,000 to $5,000 just for the synth itself, and then everything that goes along with it. So
we were in the store yesterday. We went to Music Around yesterday, and they had used stuff, and just one of those analog synth in there was what, like the used shitty version was
15,
like it was over $1,000 just for one.
And that wasn't even one of the crown jewels of synthesizers.
Just a shitty one.
Yeah.
Just a shitty one that was in bad condition that looked like somebody literally lit up 4 packs a day on that bad boy.
Right. So when he's saying like he saw it going into more digital stuff, it's like it's only done that because of people now that don't have a lot of money, like me, can make big songs. And that's I think it's awesome for that, but at the same time, like, being able to have a real drummer in studio, a real trumpet player in studio would be like, that's the dream.
Someday, right?
Yeah,
I talk about that all the time when I see like stuff like this. Is like this, like, out of anything that I've ever wanted, performing on stage, like, I've always wanted to be able to be on a stage or record something with a big band or a big orchestra or something, like, live with me.
Yeah, could you imagine?
That is like it. Like, that's it for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like at that point you made it, I feel like.
Well, with your help, with our powers combined,
we are Captain Planet, or Wonder. We could actually be Wonder Twin powers. Oh, hey, perfect. Wonder Twin powers activate. There we go. Form of.
All right, let's keep going. I'm sorry.
Anyway, no, it's good. It's good. They like it, I think. And if they don't, I don't know.
Cover issues like mental health and bullying. I think that's what really sets BTS apart.
Hear that music?
They're so popular. It's ridiculous.
They're getting ready to rock the crowd. We're going to be
God,
seeing
look at
that
that
all
stadium.
over social media.
Yes.
Are you coming here?
Yes. The Billboard Music Awards, I would see them. That's when I knew like how much of an impact they're making with their music.
Even friends that I've talked about, and even my own kid, when I have said, hey, I'm going to be doing a recording session down at the Echo Bar for BTS. Really? BTS? What? Really?
Because originally when we had been reached out to, it was like, hey, it's a secret band. And then when I saw the music, I was like, I freaked out, like jumping around the room.
We get to do so much as entertainers and artists, but it's rare to get to work with living legends. I mean, they are young, but they're still at this point living legends.
Yeah, you know, I like.
So they recently at the AMAs, BTS won Artist of the Year, along with a couple of other things, which was huge for them to break through to, you know, the American audience, especially what's happened to them and some of those things that happened in the past. But they were joking that basically the AMAs turned into a BTS meet and greet because all of like the celebrities and stuff
they were like
brought their kids and like basically just lined up to meet.
That's so crazy.
BTS. And you think about like these guys look up to all these people and like they're lining up.
And what's crazy is that they probably look up to American pop music, and like they probably, you know, I don't know, but they probably look at like certain people and like, wow, like I wish I could meet them, and it's like, oh, they're 47 in line?
Yeah.
Like that must be like a very surreal feeling to like go from practically nothing to Rihanna's kids in line, which I don't know if she has kids or not. Yeah. But like in line waiting, you know. Like
and just says more, I think, to the testament of their character though, because the more you see about them, the more you learn about them, it's like they still go in with the mentality of like they need to be better and do better.
Yeah.
And so like they never lose, like even though they're like the biggest band in the freaking world, they've never lost that thing where like that's one of the things I really don't like about a lot of the American artists is like they get big and it's just like, all right, you know, I'm too cool or I'm too good. There are a couple that aren't, but you don't see that to that extent, and they're just like, no, we have to do better. We have to be better. We have to like, this isn't done.
And but that also is there's a certain thing with American artists that now BTS, I have no idea what the like their culture has as far as pop music goes, like how how the politics are set up and stuff like that. I have no clue. So if it's the same way, let us know. But in pop music, like the amount of, and like not to get too deep or too sad, but the amount of things that people have to go through in Hollywood in order to get to where they want to be is Hollywood is the most disgusting place on the planet.
Yeah, 100%.
And I've talked to a lot of people. I've actually been very, very close to somebody that was working her way into the Hollywood world, and the things that happened, it was like not only is it the worst things that you could possibly imagine, but they happened to everybody. Yeah. And they had a list of people like, oh yeah, this happened to her, him, and him. Yeah. And you just plow through it and then get to the top, and then go, I'm done.
I think that two things. One, I think the things that we're talking about that I don't think we have to name here. Most people can infer, right? Right. Those are probably not the same hardships that they face over there. The hardships that they face over there, though, a lot of times is, and one of the things that BTS gets to stand out from, a lot of people say that a lot of K-pop seems very manufactured. Because they literally do. They recruit people and they're working in studios. Like, you will literally train, sometimes for years, 16-hour days, doing nothing but training just for an opportunity to debut. And the vast majority of those, even once they debut, fail within the first 100 days.
Right. So it's more of the Big Brother politics over there.
Yeah. Right. So with them, it's like, but you have to look a certain way. And outside of, again, Big Hit, a lot of the groups, I mean, very, very severe diets, plastic surgery, a very, very specific look. Like, they have to be a certain way in many of these groups. Not all of them, but in many of them. So it's a very different type of hardship there than here. And so many of those groups have other avenues to get out there because they do have these shows and stuff. Right. If you're with a label that can get you onto those stages and stuff, they have all these shows. Where here you're talking about almost the most disgusting and gruesome parts of humanity that happen to some of these people.
Just in order to even step foot in certain rooms and certain studios.
Yeah. Which is why, at least, you know, I feel like in today's day and age, we get to be thankful because as hard as it is, you can, as an independent artist, like we're doing right now, all of you, all 31,000 of you now, get to help us get to a place without having to go through some of those things to be able to get there. And that way we get to hold our integrity intact, because by the time we hopefully get discovered or somebody comes to us and says, hey, do you want to do this? We don't have to go through all that because we brought something
we bring
with
something
us.
to the table.
Right.
And it's so
we need your help. We need your help.
Dude, 31,000. Like, I can't believe like what they've done. Like, it's like, all right, guys, thanks so much. That's so crazy.
I know. Every day. And every day they do more. Loves. We love you. All right. Let's keep going.
You know, what they're doing, and the rapping and the singing, and, you know, the messages, they're positive.
I have come to love myself for who I am, for who I was, and for who I hope to become.
So, you know, that's what I like about them.
I think getting to contribute to their message as a band is really cool.
We got our future studio guys right here.
Even in this recording here, we had some marching band people, we had some people from the Global Jazz Department, and we mixed them all together. And kind of like what BTS does, right? We mixed them all together to get one great thing. And I think we achieved it, because the tracks are just phenomenal on this project.
So cool.
You guys killed that. That was awesome.
Right.
There's one punch we got to get.
I just got to get bar 24.
Bar 24?
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Music, everything from the beat, the groove, which is vibration, and then of course, you know, a good lyric, you know, good message. It's no one way to do it. That's why you have all these different great artists doing it in different ways. You know, has an effect on people.
Yeah.
So then we'll do the same thing. You know, just keep thinking of subdivisions for the next section. Yeah, that timed up really good.
I think it's absolutely fabulous what they're doing in terms of just really allowing people to have this kind of self-esteem. It really talks about songs of joy and hope. Yeah, I really dig them.
Do you imagine being a member of the UCLA marching band and they like reach out to you like, hey, do you want to do this thing? And like, who is it? Like, we don't know. It's secret. And then it's fucking BTS.
Right. That'd be super cool.
Like,
that'd be super cool.
What? That's a pretty sweet thing to put on your resume.
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I know. I'm hoping one day like my sample pack just finds their way into their email and they're like, this ding. That was made by this dude named Lucas.
Well, you were in marching band, right?
Yeah.
I was in marching band back in the day, so like we've got some experience with it. Yeah, you did drums. I did sax. So the drum people and the woodwind and brass guys never really chatted though. It was like weird. It was like weird. It was like weird like subsections.
Because I'm over here like pop, and you're over there.
Yeah, I was playing to a baby. You were waking the baby up.
Yeah.
But I was playing to the baby.
Yeah, because I'm rock and roll.
Left. Yeah. Okay.
It makes a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, raise the roof with the left.
Anybody else need a pencil? Everybody good? Good. All right. So, guys, so tenors.
I guess it's just the overall goal of our groups. I mean, I think that BTS they want to make everyone happy. They want to perform. They want to leave an impression on people, you know, and improve people. You know, as a band, we want to go out there and get everyone pumped up. We want to get everyone excited. You know, we're not just performing to make money. We're give them something that can make them happier, make them live better lives. And I think both BTS and the UCLA Bruin Marching Band share that.
Like, I don't know Korean, unfortunately, or, I mean, they also sing in other languages. So I don't know very well the languages they sing in. But when I see what the songs mean, I can definitely feel how heartfelt it is, and I can feel the emotion that they're conveying through their songs, regardless of the language.
I've talked about that.
Ouch.
Yeah, that was really, really loud when that came in.
Owie.
Do you need me to turn your thing down a little bit?
Maybe a little bit.
Wowie. One of the things that I've talked about a lot is like what I love so much about music is that music transcends language. You know,
Yeah.
It's its own language. And so there's a lot of things, even if you can't understand it, a lot of times you can feel emotion through just the melodies themselves or through how people perceive themselves. And so it's pretty cool. That's still really loud.
Super loud.
I think it's just the one part.
Thank you for embracing us. Thank you for hugging us. Thank you for accepting us. The 7 boys from Korea who sing us in Korean and have even different looks, speak different languages. But you guys truly proved us that music transcends the language, looks.
Yep. Dude.
That's crazy.
Well, music, as you know, is a universal
Probably
language.
70,000 people?
They have a 4-day concert coming up at SoFi Stadium, completely sold out for all 4 days. I want to also say, somebody can correct me, I think that they have like some of the records for like the largest live streamed, like when the pandemic and things were going on, they did some concerts where they like rented out a stadium, but they just did it for people at home. And just like, I mean, we're talking about hundreds of millions of people that tune into these things. Like, it's insane.
Very cool, man.
Which, oh, by the way, if you would like, we had somebody that was super, super kind that got me, because I told, look, we don't have extra money right now. And the tickets, even for the online stuff, are pretty expensive. And so just like they did with the last one, somebody got me tickets for December 3rd.
What?
For the online version. So if you want to come over, we'll put it on the laptop, and we'll put the laptop on the TV upstairs. If you want to.
Cool, yeah, I'll watch it.
So a lot of the songs I hadn't heard the last time, but like it didn't matter. Like I don't feel like watching some of those live performances ruined it for me when I went to do them in the future.
Later,
so,
no, yeah.
No matter who you are, everyone can relate to good music. It brings people together. There's power in music like nothing else to me.
To me, the arts should be a part of our society because we're all thinking about technology and finances and stuff. Like I think music in general is like the thing that balances everything out.
A few months ago, actually, when I was just going through kind of a rough time, I was just having trouble finding myself, questioning my own abilities, my own passions, my own friends one day, and the song Epiphany really stuck out to me. The words like love yourself just like really touched me, really about finding yourself and loving yourself before, loving other people. Just unsure of who I was.
You aren't ready for that yet.
And
I'll show you that
hearing
someday.
that like other people were going through something similar meant so much to me. And so I started listening to them more, and so they do really mean a lot to me now.
I think anybody who's listening to this music now, as they grow up, it's going to stay with them for the rest of their lives. If there's a song or a lyric or there's a beat or a rhythm that you really resonate with, you're always going to put that on. It really takes me to a different place. So that whole question about music and healing, music, how has it changed you? I think they're all kind of related. So for BTS, I think it's going to have value for everybody on an individual basis. That really transcends any physical. The healing power of music is definitely something that people need to tap more into it, especially as we age.
Yeah. Hey.
I think it's been since 2016, maybe 15. It might be.
Very cool.
It might have been about 4 years now. And they were only here for the one project, and then we've done things remotely for them, which has been wonderful. It's been great. I'm so glad to be part of all of it. It's been wonderful.
너를 원해 너란 여자 사기꾼 내 맘을 흔든 범인 이방적인 구애들에 바쳐 헛수고 나란 여자 너 내게 너무 나빠 너 내게 너무 나빠 man.
He's just chilling.
집 가는 게 오늘따라도 모든 세상이 나 위한 것 같아, right?
Thank God they're not working with you.
Well, yeah.
Because, you know, whenever you have to do more than 1 or 2 takes, Lucas is like, can we just get this right, please? And then he goes to do a take, and it's like 40, 42, 44 takes, and you just sit there and watch him do it over and over again. That's okay. Right? Right?
It was... The thing is, I'm trying to just make you a better musician.
Oh, I see. I see.
And,
yep.
You know,
Yep.
What better way to than put you in the hot seat?
세상이 나 위한 것 같아, right? 부끄럽다.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, they're out.
야, 거기 바로.
Because they work. Oh. Because they just working friggin' 18-hour days all the time. We would wait for like the drum set to just like fall
For
over.
real.
Like they're just kids.
Yeah.
If we had space though, I feel like we would do shit like this. We just don't
Yeah,
have space
probably.
without breaking things.
I'm so sad Bang wasn't able to be here, but great to see all y'all. Well, I think the fact that the cultural bridge, right? We're doing things, especially for this project, but the cultural bridge, I think, by bringing in something that I would argue is fairly uniquely American, a marching band, common other than love for music and the way that music moves people and influences people. But I think the productions themselves are really well done. I think has done an amazing job on the tracks and embracing too something that it, like I said, is uniquely
yeah, I know.
American, a marching band.
Nice job. Well done. Good job. Good job. No, likewise. Thank you. Yeah, well done. All right, so we gotta take the drums down. Yeah. Yeah, and we gotta.
Music has the ability to really put you in a good space, in a good environment, really make you feel like you are important and that you are valued in this society, in this world, that you belong in this universe.
So thanks again. All right, that's it for me. Anybody have any questions or comments?
Thank you.
So
cool.
So not to rush everybody, but we got a gospel choir coming in right behind you.
Well, again, I'm all about inclusivity. A marching band does that. You know, sometimes kids that maybe don't even want to play music for a living, but they need everybody needs to be part of some kind of group. And everyone comes together to make this one thing very special, whether it be a halftime show or a concert or whatever. It's to bringing people together, making them feel important about it, and giving them a purpose to achieve and do better in life.
True.
You know, I always say music is.
Remember we were
kind
talking
of
about the backing vocals and stuff in there? And it's so cool.
Naturally
Yeah,
knows
how
to
cool would that
heal.
be?
It knows how to put us back in check and allows me a reality check for me. And I need that a lot of times because it really does change people's lives. As you
Jamming.
can tell.
Mm-hmm.
The joy, I think that's why everyone loves BTS and gravitates towards BTS so much, because they have such a joy and love for what they do that it's infectious.
That was it. That felt good. That felt good.
Ready. We're like.
That's my ego. That's my ego.
Again together.
Map of the soul. Map of the all.
I experienced depression before. Yeah, I experienced depression before, and I didn't know what it was. But the thing that definitely got me through when I felt like I didn't want to get out of bed or that I didn't want to do anything, music was always the thing that kept me calm, kept me peaceful, and even motivated me to just get on and keep going.
Like I said, I'm inspired by music, and I'm inspired by artists who are genuine, who are real, and who truly love what they do, and they understand the power of music. And BTS, if you watch them perform live, there is so much joy, so much fun, and so much love that it truly is transcendent, and it truly is infectious. And so that's what I gravitate towards. That's why I appreciate what they do. That's why I love what they do. And I think that's why the world loves what they do, because there is a passion, joy, and love for the arts.
Dude, they had 2 multi-$1,000 mics on top of each other like this.
Like, can't have too much of a good thing.
Dude, like, so, and then that means they're both running through the preamp, they're both running through the compressor, they're both running through all this stuff.
Yeah.
And so they have to have 2 of each one of those too.
Yep.
And you're like,
to be honest, that wasn't even the most expensive part of the studio. So one of the things that I had to do a lot of research when we did the acoustics for this room, sound proofing and acoustic sound is some of the most expensive stuff that you could, like, I'd ever even realized.
Yeah.
So the way that you do is you put it like literally on the insides of the walls, and like those acoustic panels that were on the roof that they had like probably 40 or 50 of them that were facing all kinds of different directions perfectly in the room to make those acoustic. Those are like $800 each.
Yeah. It's
and then like 40 of them in there. Like they're insane. Plus all the stuff in the room. It's just like these studios cost $300,000-$400,000.
More than that,
you know, at least.
Like a studio like that's going to be over. If you think about it, like that's just 2. Like each one of those mics probably $3,000 a piece.
Yeah. Doesn't include all of like. It was really cool because we saw. I don't know if you saw it, but when they did, there is a back one for My Universe, which is one they did recently with Coldplay, and in the room. When they went in there was stacks, and there were like 4 or 5 stacked up, and they were all old synthesizers. All piano, and it was just there had to be 30 or 40 of them in there. It was just insane. And like just like, oh, we need this sound now. Here, pull this down.
Yeah, and when you own a studio, you get geary. Like you get very gear orientated, and you start collecting gear, and like you end up with just buckets of gear
stuff.
Yeah, stuff you don't use anymore. But like when you go to studios like that, they have entire basements just chock full of like just random guitars that are just getting dust on it that I would pay. I would give, like
give anything for.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to talk about with this though is like one of the things BTS's live performances are so amazing and such another level, and I don't know why it really never stuck with me, but part of that is because from the beginning, a lot of what K-pop does is it's all about live performances. So here, I feel like in the States, yes, we do concerts to sell tickets and to promote ourselves, right? But the real reason that you do a concert here in the States is to sell albums, sell songs, right? A lot of times, they're not even making, sometimes it's so expensive to rent out these stadiums and stuff, if you're even breaking even by selling it out. Like, you don't make a ton of money a lot of times on the sales. At least the artist doesn't make a ton of money.
Right.
By the time the cuts and everything, but it promotes music. And so you make the music first, you get there, and then when you get there, then you start doing concerts once you're popular enough to start promoting yourself.
Right.
From the very, very get-go, I mean, the way that they start even doing it is they basically do all this training and dancing because, like, they start performing live from, like, literally from day one, they're performing live to promote themselves. I think that that's what makes them so powerful as well, is, like, that's just part of their industry. It's like these live performances, these dance numbers, this is part of it from day one.
And the thing is that, like, when you go to see a band or see a solo artist or whatever, the experience that you get live is what's going to create the memories. And once a song is attached to a memory, that's when you play that song over and over and over and over again. And like, and I'm not trying to take away from the fact that their music does mean something.
Yeah.
But from a marketing standpoint, you know, it's still like that is a huge part of it, where it's like you go to a concert with your 5 best friends, they play this ballad that you've never heard before, and 3 out of your 5 friends are crying. The other 2 are just they can't watch because they're like, I don't like feelings, and then you all have like a laugh about it on the way home, and that's how music it infects you, and then you become the artist for that person instead of an artist for that person.
And the song that you're hearing there, they do this a lot at the end of their concerts. It's called Mikrokosmos. It's a beautiful, beautiful song, but it's like their army song. Like everybody gets in. That's why we're gonna listen to a couple other ones, and I'll show it to you. But it's like it's one of those songs where it's just like it's one of those moments for a lot of people. So cool here. God, look at that stadium.
The language barrier for sure. You know, I may not understand everything that's being said, but you understand the passion, you understand the concept and the energy.
I think the positivity, even though I wasn't understanding the language at first, positivity touched me. They made an impact before I even knew who they were. So, yeah, definitely.
Definitely, because there's a lot of people in the U.S. who have never been outside of the U.S. and would never know what K-pop was if they hadn't broken that barrier and brought us into their world.
And also at the same time gets you excited for the future of music. And I think that's why it's changing the culture in which how we listen to music and what we listen to here in the States.
You are my soulmate.
Ah, so cool.
My man, bring it. So good. Thank y'all. Thank you so much.
The power of music is that it
I know that
connects
feeling
everybody.
so much.
It also is powerful because music can change your situation, you know, and it connects people.
Just watch, because the guy that was the engineer, so he's like, oh, thank you so much, and he means it, but at the same time he's like, you guys were in here for an hour, and now I have 16 hours of work to do. so thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Now I got to get to work.
Yeah. Because then it's like I got to start the coffee machine because we're going in. Because like to mix in, like, let's say to mix in a room mic is a huge pain in general. To mix in a room mic with like all those vocals on it getting so big, just to figure out the volume for something like that and figure out all the hardware going in for something like that's a big chore. But then once you get that dialed in, then you got to go back and try to mix it into the track. And it's not just a matter of being like, put the volume down a little bit and good. You know what I mean? It's it's on such a higher level, like creating a song like the one that they're doing right now, because all the elements aside from just perfect synths that are in your recording program, it's like hundreds and hundreds of tracks and hundreds of send channels, and like I'm getting a headache just thinking about the amount of work that guy has to do.
Well, and with live instruments, everyone sounds different, right?
Yeah.
So like you had multiple saxophones there. Each one of the saxophones is different. Each one is using probably a different mouthpiece. The best musicians cannot make their sound the same. So you're also within that you're working with a lot of different sounds that then you have to try to mix together, right? It's just like it's so crazy, but so cool.
Music can change your situation, you know, and it connects people all around you.
It's a balloon.
Huh.
And I see that, like I said, I keep saying about BTS, one of the things that I'm excited about them is how they're pulling everybody together. In a time where it seems like the world is going the opposite. So we need people like that, and we need groups like that that are bringing people together not separating them and keeping them apart. Especially at a time in our nation right now where everybody's trying to be isolated. Some of the problems that we have in the world today are going to take a global approach. You know what I mean? It's going to take everybody to pull together to defeat some of the crises that we're having in the world today. And if you can bring people together, like I think like they're doing, I think that that's a step in the right direction for sure.
Really cool. I have to imagine maybe this is just sell credits. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bring the pain on, yeah. Bring the pain on, yeah.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Very cool. It's and then when now I just listened to that track, you know,
Yeah.
it just popped in and it's like
Now you're hearing all the little elements to it.
yeah, and I'm like trying to hear where they ended up putting them in the mix, and it's like, dude.
Well, and the song's super long. Remember, like, that song has multiple weird breaks in it, right?
Right.
Like, it almost is like 3 songs kind of mashed up into one, and so there was different spots.
That seems like somewhat of a staple of K-pop as I've seen so as of far.
Yeah, and I think, and one of the things that we've done in some of our songs recently, right, is I think it definitely takes us out of our comfort zone.
Right.
Because it's like we're not used to it, and we're just like we're even talking through it of like, should we have this here? But I feel like every time we push through on a song like that,
yeah. And
by the time that we've gotten done and we're like, this didn't seem like it should work, it was like, okay.
Very cool.
Okay,
Yeah,
I get it now.
Because the thing is like you've been doing music in different ways for a long time. I've been creating music for a long time. So like at the end of the day, if you just push through the parts that are really difficult, it's gonna like the talents that we've accumulated over the years are going to find their way through.
Right.
You know, but for stuff like this, like and that the Blackpink song we did the other day, and like it's just it's so crazy the way they just like flip the songs on their heads, and since we've been listening to a lot of that, it's been coming out in our music.
I was gonna say it's like you have this new inspiration. I still think, and I just want to put it on record, I think that K-pop is gonna have such a significant impact to pop culture here in the United States over the next 5 to 10 years. Now that it's becoming mainstream, like it was such a big deal for BTS to win at the MAs. Okay, like that's such a huge deal, and it's becoming more of like, and even with My Universe, which was with Coldplay, there was I think like the first major song where like part of that song is sung in Korean, right? It was a number 1 hit here, but it didn't have to be in English, and I think that it's going to change it partially because of the type of music and the type of work that goes into it, but also because of the relationship that artists are building with fan bases. And I don't know how the American pop culture deals with that, because I think that a lot of times in American pop culture, we would probably look at bringing in people, literally recruiting people at a young age and putting them through this process. And we'd probably look at it and be like, oh, you can't do that. Right.
But
at the same point in time, we kind of do.
Right.
We just don't really talk about it.
Right. No, they've done it in the past. They've done it in the past with a couple. Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, I think that what makes some of these groups, like, they do, and I've talked about this a lot. I think that for some of us, music was our life. Should have been our life, and we should have been able to spend more time with it earlier on in our lives.
Right.
And I think if we accept more of that here, I think that you might see a change, and you might see some organizations pop up where they're recruiting people more like this to these groups and the dancing and the production.
In 2 years, in the next 2 years, there's going to be a giant American boy band again. There's going to be, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like you can't have, you know, how they think is like, dude, they came over here with a boy band that we stopped doing boy bands 10 years ago. They're coming over here with a boy band and destroying our record.
Well,
like, You know, and not saying destroying. Like, don't be like I'm saying like the record companies that are here are like, dude, like we have to compete with them, otherwise we're gonna lose everything.
We saw it in the hardship videos where the guy was like, oh, well, they need their own category.
Right.
And it's like, no, they don't. You just need to pick up your game. And again, guys, when we say boy band, just keep in mind, like, we have a lot of respect for boy bands. I know that it can be seen sometimes that like it's a non-respect thing, but I don't think so. I think that you're exactly right. I think that they're going to have to be for boy groups and girl groups.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that we're going to see a rise of people trying to do that. But I think that one of the things that's going to be very, very hard with American culture is the work ethic and the drive.
Yes.
Can we be that disciplined?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, at some point, I think maybe that answer is yes. But I think right now, I think that probably one of the things that holds us back from being able to do something that is the discipline. And then you're playing catch up for years unless you hire producers from over there that can do these things, right? Because they've been doing stuff like that forever.
Right. And the big thing about like American pop culture is it's different in the way in which there's one John Mayer, there's one Taylor Swift, there's one who cares, Ed Sheeran, whatever.
Yeah.
And if you were to get two Ed Sheerans in the room, like two guys with that amount of talent, and be like, you guys are going to make songs exclusively together, they'd be like, why?
Yeah.
Like, I can do what I do, and then he can just do it. Why do we got to do it together?
Well, for the reason we've talked about, though, right?
Right. But most artists, when they're that big and that talented, they're like, why would I do that when I'm like doing really good by myself? Yeah. You know what I mean? Where it's going to be, they're going to have to be younger and waiting for a chance kind of deal. And then they just bring, but I do think it's going to be coming up because like, it's just like toys or whatever or anything in any industry. It's like this happens and people go, oh, okay, well, what about this? You know? And there's definitely going to be an American version of a BTS type thing, and they're going to steal literally everything from them.
Yeah.
Not actual fans, but I'm talking about like as far as the sound goes and stuff. They're going to try really hard to emulate
to emulate it. And the other thing that I think though is happening, I think we're in a weird enough time where some of the things that I talked about early on in terms of like the way that we are supposed to dress, or the way that we're supposed to look, we're breaking a lot of those barriers right now. Even in American culture, we're breaking a lot of those barriers. You know, we talk about like Lil Nas X, who is like very, very much like, you know, hip hop star that's openly gay.
Yeah.
It's, you know, so we're seeing a little bit more than that. We're seeing a lot like in athletics, like football, where it's like it's a manly man sport, and you're seeing a lot of openly gay players coming out and stuff like that. And so, hopefully, I hope, and I love what it's doing though, because it is making everybody rethink.
Yeah, everyone's ears are up.
We just can't do the same shit anymore.
Right. We can't get away with it anymore because these dudes are coming in hot. Like, it's cool what they're doing. I don't know.
I'm actually really excited. I'm not excited to see a time where BTS isn't a group anymore, but it will happen at some point.
Oh yeah, of course.
But I am excited to see a time where I think all of them are going to be really amazing mentors in their own right, where they're bringing on different groups and leading different groups and working with more and more people almost full time, and seeing what ripple effect that has. Yeah. Where now you have like an entire generation of people that are learning from this group that did it on their own.
Or like in their, you know, when they hit their 40s or 50s, they all might just go solo and do like piano ballads and like things like that. Like
they all have their own solo stuff. There's some really cool solo stuff that we can get into. They do also have some solo stuff that they do too. Yeah. We got a lot down the road to go to. Anyway, all right, thank you guys. You guys say you like the long videos, so long video it is. Please don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let us know what you thought. Comments below. Tell us that you loved us. Tell us that we're pretty. Tell us that we. He actually he takes screenshots on his phone when you guys like say that like he looks good, and he sends them to me throughout the day in the comments.
You know why?
He loves it. Don't let it like, oh, here we go.
No, this is why.
It's because it bothers you.
No, it's because it's a disrespectful thing to do. And you know that I like you when I'm disrespectful towards you.
That's true. We have a really weird relationship. It's kind of toxic.
I have intimacy issues.
Anyway, seriously, thank you guys so much. If nobody told you that they love you today, don't forget, we love you. You are appreciated. You are always welcome here in this channel, and you are enough. And last, but certainly not least, it was a great day to play. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
And it's time to change for the last.